What if I told you that some of the most overlooked coins in your pocket right now could secretly be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? It sounds unbelievable, but collectors around the world are constantly searching for specific Washington quarters that most people spend without a second thought. Today, we're diving deep into four intriguing years: 1965, 1967, 1980, and 1987, and by the end of this video, you might never look at a quarter the same way again. To really understand why these coins matter, we need to start with the history of the Washington quarter. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the design became an instant classic. For over 3 decades, these quarters were made from 90% silver, giving them both intrinsic metal value and collectible appeal. But by the early 1960s, the rising cost of silver created a nationwide problem. People began hoarding coins, melting them down, and removing them from circulation. The U.S. Mint was forced to act, and what happened next changed American coinage forever. This transition didn't just affect collectors. It impacted everyday Americans who suddenly noticed a difference in the look and feel of their coins. In 1965, the U.S. Mint eliminated silver from quarters and replaced it with a copper-nickel clad composition. This makes the 1965 quarter historically important as the first year of the modern clad era. On the surface, it might seem like a very common coin. After all, more than 1.8 billion were produced. But hidden within that massive number are some extremely rare and valuable pieces. A small number of 1,965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These transitional-era coins are incredibly rare, and when they appear at auction, they can sell for thousands of dollars. Imagine finding a coin in your change that looks ordinary but is actually made of silver. It's like discovering a hidden time capsule from the previous era. Another fascinating detail is that these silver-era coins often weigh slightly more than regular clad versions, making a simple scale a useful tool for identification. Even beyond the silver eras, collectors actively search for high-grade 1965 quarters. Because these coins were heavily circulated during a time of coin shortage, finding one in pristine condition, with sharp details, no wear, and original mint luster, is much harder than you might think. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can carry a premium, and exceptional examples can surprise collectors with their value. Now, let's move on to 1967, a year that stands out for a completely different reason. During the coin shortage of the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint made a controversial decision. They removed mint marks from all coins between 1965 and 1967. The idea was to discourage collectors from hoarding coins based on where they were minted. As a result, every 1967 Washington quarter looks identical. There's no D or S mark to identify its origin. While this might sound like it reduces their appeal, it actually makes them historically unique. But here's where the real value comes in. Most 1967 quarters were used extensively in everyday transactions, which means high-grade examples are surprisingly scarce today. Coins in near-perfect condition, graded MS-66 or MS-67, can sell for impressive amounts because so few survived without wear. On top of that, mint errors play a huge role in value. Double die varieties, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even coins struck on the wrong metal can dramatically increase worth. Some error coins from 1967 have sold for hundreds or even thousands, depending on their rarity and condition. Jumping ahead to 1980, we enter a period where the Washington quarter had become firmly established in its clad form. At first glance, there's nothing particularly special about a 1980 quarter. Millions were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, and they're still commonly found in circulation today. But this is where many people make a big mistake because they assume common means worthless. In reality, condition is everything in coin collecting. Most 1980 quarters were heavily circulated, meaning they show wear, scratches, and loss of detail. Finding one in near-perfect condition is incredibly difficult. Coins graded at MS-67 or higher are rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these top-quality examples. Some have sold for hundreds of dollars simply because they represent the best of the best. And now we arrive at 1987, a year that surprises almost everyone. Unlike most quarters, the 1987 Washington quarter was never released into general circulation. Instead, it was only available through official U.S. mint sets sold directly to collectors. This makes it very different from the other coins we've discussed. Every 1987 quarter originally came protected in a collector package, which means fewer were exposed to everyday wear. So, why do we sometimes find them in circulation today? Over the years, people have broken open these mint sets and spent the coins, often without realizing their significance. Because of this, high-quality 1987 quarters are more desirable than you might expect. While circulated examples may still be worth face value, uncirculated coins with strong details and original luster can command significantly higher prices. In some cases, pristine examples graded at the highest levels can sell for hundreds of dollars. What makes these 4 years, 1965, 1967, 1980, and 1987, so fascinating is how each one represents a different aspect of coin collecting. The 1965 quarter tells the story of a major transition from silver to clad composition. The 1967 quarter reflects a unique period when mint marks disappeared entirely. The 1980 quarter proves that condition alone can create rarity. And the 1987 quarter stands out as a collector-only release that wasn't meant to circulate at all. And here's the most exciting part. These coins are still out there. They're hiding in drawers, coin jars, old collections, and even in everyday pocket change. Most people never take the time to look closely, which means opportunities are constantly being missed. A quick glance at the date and condition of your quarters could reveal something truly valuable. Even small details like shine, edge color, or strike sharpness can hint at hidden value. Another tip collectors use is checking the coin's edge. If you see a solid silver-colored edge instead of the typical copper stripe, it could indicate a rare error or silver composition. Simple observations like this can quickly separate an ordinary coin from a potentially valuable one, even for beginners. You can also compare multiple coins side by side to spot subtle differences more easily. Over time, your eye becomes trained to notice details that others completely miss. Many collectors even use magnifying glasses or basic tools to inspect coins more closely. So the next time you get change at a store, don't just spend it without thinking. Take a closer look. Check for unusual details, sharp designs, or anything that seems out of the ordinary. You might just discover a coin that's worth far more than 25 cents. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden stories and surprising value behind these Washington quarters, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more hidden treasures. And let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare or valuable coin in your change? And which of these quarters surprised you the most?